Today, ma'am, we are the group two, and we are going to discuss the topics that you've given to us. I'm Elias Aritas Jr.
I'm Rizmi Dakar. I'm April Midayan. And I am Sarah Jane Carter.
Five periods of the evolution of media and globalization. Number one is oral communication, which is language. Is avenue of people who cooperate, allowed for the sharing of information, important tool as human being explored the world, experienced different cultures. And the number two is script, papyrus. It allowed humans to communicate over longer space and much longer time. And it also allowed for the written and permanent codification of economic, cultural, and political practices. Number three, printing press. Information revolution transferred social institution, and it was according to Elizabeth Einstein, 1979. And the influences of printing press, which has changed the nature of knowledge, preserved and standardized knowledge, and encouraged the challenge of political and religious authority. And the fourth is electronic media. Radio is global medium in reading regions, and the TV, most persuasive and powerful mass medium, and combi, which visual and oral power. And the number five is digital media, which rely on digital code, and media, which means of conveying something such as channel of communication and plural of medium.
Technology and mass communication. Print media, books, magazine, and newspaper. Broadcast media, radio, film, and television. Digital media, internet and mobile mass media. Marshall McLuhan. The medium is the message. He used his analysis of technology to examine the impact of electronic media. He declared that the television was turning the world into a global village. Television shaped the social behavior of users and reorient family behavior. Papyrus started in Egypt. Cell phone expand people's senses.
The global village and cultural imperialism. Cultural imperialism, media globalization coupled with American hegemony would create an form of this. American values culture would overwhelm all others. Herbert Schiller argued that not only was the world being Americanized, but thus process also led to spread of American capitalized values like consumerism. John Tomlin, John Tomlinson. Cultural globalization is simply an a euphemism, a euphemism for Western cultural imperialism, since it promotes homogenized, westernized a consumer culture. Critics of cultural imperialism. Lin Lang studied that ways different viewers the Netherlands experience watching the American soap opera Dallas. Elihu Katz and Tamar Lieves. They decided to push Ang's analysis. They argued that text received differently by varied interpretative communities. Russians were suspicious of how shows content. Americans believed that it was primarily about the lives of the rich. Japanese brands Hello Kitty, Mario Brothers, and Pokemon. Global Asian cuisine, Jollibee number one choice for last food in Brunei.
Social media and the creation of cyber ghettos. Women's march against Donald Trump began with a tweet from a Hawaii lawyer and became a global movement. Splitternet various bubbles people place themselves in when they are online. Cyber balkanization, it is the phenomenon. Vladimir Putin, a Russian dictator who hired armies of social media to manipulate public opinion through intimidation and the spreading of fake news, trolls, paid users who harass political opponents. Global online propaganda will be the biggest threat to face as the globalization of media depends. Multiple attributes of global city. First is economic power. Second is to measure the economic competitiveness of a city. The Economist Intelligence Unit criteria has a four. First is market size. Second is purchasing power of citizens. Third is size of middle class. Fourth is potential for growth. The third is global cities are also centers of authority. Fourth is the cities that house major international organization may also be considered centers of political influence. Fifth is global cities are center of higher learning and culture. The challenges of global city. First is cities can be sustainable because of their density. Second is the major trigger attacks of recent years have also targeted cities. Global city. Globalization is special because first it occurs in physical space. Second is what makes it move in the fact it is based in places. According to Sasha Sassin, her criteria for what constitute of global city were primarily economic. She essentially identified three global cities, which is New York, London, and Tokyo, all of which are hubs of global finance and capitalism.